just finally in relation to the terrible events that occurred on Parnell Square on Thursday, I really would ask people to try and avoid connecting crime with migration. It's not right. Yes, of course, people who are migrants might commit crimes, just as people who aren't commit crimes. In a country of 5.3 million people, if you have hundreds of thousands of migrants, there are going to be a few of them who commit terrible crimes, just as there are people born and bred in Ireland who commit terrible crimes every day, including murders. And when I see what happened in Parnell Square, what I see is a suspect who is a migrant, although a citizen, and somebody here for over 20 years. I see a 5-year-old child in hospital today, both her parents coming from a migrant background, and her born in Ireland. And of the 5 or 6 people who intervened to stop the attack, 4 of those 6 are migrants to this country. It's totally wrong to try and make out that there's a connection between crime and migration based on what happened on Parnell Street. The alleged assailant, the victims, and those who stopped the attack.
Thank you, Taoiseach.
Most of them from migrant background.
So this person is saying that most of the people that are going to that school, they are from migrant background, or the parents are migrant. I'm like, okay. But for some odd reason, everybody that seems to disagree with you, you think they have a right-winger background, you know? But let me show you a little detail about where this happened at the school, because I have a feeling YouTube is watching me because I don't like this content.
The optics on this are so tragic because not only was it young children, but it's young children being walked to after-school care after departing an all-Irish school, meaning they only instruct in the Gaelic language. And so this is obviously to the core of Irish culture, something they feel like they would want to protect their language and their children. I mean, even the stories coming out of it, right? I think it was, they were saying a Brazilian bike messenger is the one who ultimately knocked this guy out with his helmet and pinned him to the ground.
So it was an all-Irish school, speaking gangster language, and they were helping migrants to learn the language. They were putting people together. Something happened, people called it out, there might be a possibility. No, it's not, it might be a possibility. In fact, no, it's not possible. It's Algerian. You're right wing.
I beg your pardon?
I'm like, yo, bruh, I'm not a fortune teller, but you're a very bad government, that's 100%, because you don't see the issue. Even the migrant that hit the other migrant to save the other kid.
Listen, when you see a man with a knife and with a little girl in his hand, you don't even think about, you just act by instinct, you know. I think, I have kids myself, I have 2 kids, and I think all the parents, I think they should do,
And by saying that can get you in trouble. How do I know? Because the people on the other side of the left-leaning side, look how they talk about the situation.
One of the most extraordinary things was that whenever the gentleman who had attacked the children and the classroom assistant, who was badly slashed herself, he was intercepted, and whenever he'd been sort of incapacitated, 3 women took it upon themselves to protect him and probably save his life, because there was great anger at that stage.
Yeah, 3 women came to save the man, like they were watching the Marvels, MCU. I'm like, come on, man. You are calling a guy the gentleman with a knife.
Pause.
The gentleman with a knife. Bopolaginek, do you think somebody is attacking my daughter? I have to speak. But it's a gentleman that I tried to stop. They wanted to stab my daughter. It makes no sense. And this is just like a weird analyst that is in power that has a big voice. Let's go to the government.
One thing I strongly agree with the Deputy on is the need to set a target to have a number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health service that's very diverse, although less so as you go up towards the senior positions, not so much in the Gardaí, not so much in the Defence Forces, not so much in the education sector, as the Deputy mentioned, not at all in the civil service, which is very white, including the Department of Equality, for example, and that actually...
Ladies and gentlemen, they're focusing on making the country more brown, or actually more black. by putting more black into the white. And I'm like, can we not just find the browns? No, right winger, you never get something done. I'm like, bruh, you need to make everybody accountable the way you would have treated the people born there. Because now they decided we need to stop these people because it seems that a lot of people are right wing. No, you're calling everybody right wing. What, you have a picture of a meme of an Algerian? Racism, let's go, arrest him.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
When you think about it, all law, all legislation is about the restriction of freedom. That's exactly what we're doing here, is we are restricting freedom, but we're doing it for the common good. You will see throughout our constitution, yes, you have rights, but they are restricted for the common good. Everything needs to be balanced. And if your views on other people's identities go to make their lives unsafe, insecure, and cause them such deep discomfort that they cannot live in peace, then I believe that it is our job as legislators to restrict those freedoms for the common good.
What the heck are you guys balancing? You're just choosing one side and say that one side is always right and you need to just shut up. I'm like, what? This is communism. Well, since she's talking about discomfort, let's listen to the Irish people discomfort.
Our current government leader recently told communities across Ireland he is actually not asking them for permission to plant multiple busloads of people in the dead of night inside their community. He is instead telling them, now it seems from below, said communities are not going to ask him if they may stop them. How do we feel? I feel transparency is the answer. Full information should be attained and divulged to gain support from the communities of Ireland for this new peculiar procedure that has begun over the course of this year, 2023. Without it, fear, panic, unrest. Can't we come to our senses here? Take a look at this. They say in County Leitrim, Irish men and women have set up a checkpoint to prevent asylum seekers from being planted in their town. Of course, for this,
and that is the discomfort of Irish people that's causing maybe discomfort of the migrants that they're talking about. I'm like, huh?
What more do you want from me?
The law is so freaking vague what they want to cancel. It feels like on YouTube. I don't even know what I did wrong. I just know it's that. It's a hate crime. Subject to subsections and sections 11, a person shall be guilty of an offense under the section if the person prepares or possesses material that's likely to incite violence or hatred against a person or a group of persons on an account of their protected characteristic or any of their characteristics with a view to the material being communicated to the public or section of the public, whether by himself or herself or any other person. And prepares or possesses such material with intent to incite violence or hatred against such person or a group of persons on account of their characteristic or any of their characteristic or being reckless as to whether such violence or hatred is thereby incited. And I think it's just a little too vague because I can understand you're not supposed to hurt a specific person, but to consider it hatred as if I'm inciting violence, it's like I need to be responsible of all the stupid people. But for some odd reason, all the citizens that are angry, you don't think, oh my god, I'm inciting violence. They're a right-winger. I'm like, bruh. But hey, what can I do about it? Vote for right-wingers.
Got 'em.
These laws are bad. And these are always like people in protective classes in the way they have money living in gated community telling other people how they need to live. They don't send the migrants to their neighborhood. No, you see what happened to Obama and all these people? They send the migrants there. Get out! They know the effect, but they pretend we are the good people, we have the moral points, and we know what's better for you. We have the money to send you there anyway, to the people that don't have the money, because we're taxing them.
Well, no fucking shit!
Well, like, you know, let me tax you. Hey, give me a like. I'm taxing you too. Let's go.